New year, new time to deploy, I guess. Jim, how was your week slash month? Welcome to 2025, the year of deployments, I guess. How was your break?
That's it. Yeah, really good, really good. Spent some time relaxing in the with the family. Yeah, all good. What about you?
Just same, just a lot of housework and just a lot of repairs I've been like neglecting. So got the tools out, fixed a lot of stuff. As every
Ah,
good, continuous improvement philosophy practitioner would. Always looking for something to improve. So yeah, it was good. As you know, we're down here in Australia, things get a little bit hot during the summer months, so we've been enjoying that. But yeah, looking forward to 2025. Got lots of stuff coming up, which is great to
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Cool. So let's get into the news. So we've had some blog posts that have already gone up live. This is from Liam entitled "How to Choose the Tools to Run Your Kubernetes Pipeline." So this blog post is basically emphasizing the importance on selecting the appropriate tools for CI and CD in Kubernetes environments. It highlights that while CD tools are adept at building and testing code to produce deployable artifacts, things like your containers, etc. They often lack the capabilities for modeling release promotions across multiple environments and handling enterprise governance and compliance. So, relying solely on those tools, CI tools, or custom built solutions for CD can lead to complex and fragile systems. And so that's where Liam talks a little about this. Obviously, this is an exploit. This is an excerpt from his free guide entitled "Kubernetes Delivery Unlocked." So definitely a white paper you should check out. We've had it available up on the site for about a month or so, and he goes into great detail about this. I know that some of the tools that he's talking about here relative to CI is the common ones that you would most notably utilize, things like GitHub, GitLab, etc. But down here, after release, you want to utilize a tool that will obviously help in that capacity. He does talk about obviously your versioning policies. So semver is a very classic semantic versioning is a very classic sort of versioning policy. Of course, there's Calver as well. Do you have a preference for one of these? Do you like Semver? Do you like Calver? What do
December
you
is what I
like?
usually default to, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I know that with our versioning, we do use Calver. So Calver or calendar versioning is basically like year, month, date sort
yeah.
of approach. Whereas this is major, minor, patch, and then maybe build number if you want to go with four. But yeah, Calver, Semver, they're all fine as long as they're incrementing. It's when you go back that things get,
When
especially with CI processes,
you
that
go
things can get a little
backwards.
bit gnarly. Yeah, things get the train always moves forward. All right, it doesn't go back.
It's
So
only source control that can go back in time, not
that's right.
deployment,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
No, and well, deployments, yes, to a certain extent. I mean, we obviously support that obviously through Octopus Deploy, but I'm
that's
speaking
true.
more about the CI processes. Like when you
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
go backwards with a CI process, things get weird.
yeah.
That's been my experience. So, yeah, Liam talks a little bit about the CI and CD aspects of it, things that you need to keep in mind. All of this of which you can find in his white paper. But these are common terms that you and I know quite well. So definitely something to highlight there, which is great.
I'm sure everyone's read the white paper over the
Oh
holidays now
yeah.
anyway, though,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Light reading, just 90 pages or so. There you go. This is an article from Kit entitled "Why It's Critical to Get Environment Progression Right." So this is basically discusses the significance of effectively managing environment promotion in software deployments, and especially when deploying to Kubernetes. So environment promotion is basically the process by which you're advancing an application through various environments. So, for example, dev, test, prod, which we talk a lot about when we talk about Octopus, for example, and that each stage represents increasing stability and readiness. And that's something that's really important. Obviously, you still can get problems in different stages, but Kit talks a little bit about why promotion is important. Typical sort of environment structure you'd see: dev, test, prod. It's this canonical sort of three. In this case, pre-production and production. Um, Development environments, pre-production environments, why they're important, etc. The sequence of events. The idea here is that you're trying to basically improve your assurance or confidence, I guess, relative to production. The goal here is really getting that evolution towards production. And so we're testing deployments. We're trying to reduce risks. We're also dealing with crisis management as well. Obviously, sometimes things can go wrong if you're deploying to production and using things like feature flags. You want to make sure that you can turn those things off and utilize them. But These things are really important, especially as organizations scale. And I think this is the point that Kit makes over and over again. As you move up not just the environmental chain, but also the scale chain, things can get really, really gnarly. So you got to think about all those things relative to environments, especially when doing promotions to Kubernetes. And I know that, Jim, this is something that obviously you guys think about a great deal, relative to, deployments, etc. I know a
Yeah.
lot of our teams think about this a lot, but yeah,
I've
definitely
always, I've
something
always
worth
got to
noting.
quiet that little voice in my head that's just ship it to prod.
That's right. That's right. It's the
Just
it's the classic sort of, what does this button do?
go to
Yeah,
prod.
yeah.
Do it
That's
live.
part of the reason why I mean I that's part of the reason why I like feature flags so much, is because
Yeah.
it's sort of an
Yeah.
escape hatch in some respects. So, you know, you can always turn it off if you have to. But got to be careful, right? You don't want to start polluting databases with bad data.
That's
Those things
right.
can happen, and then you get to clean up, which is always fun. So,
Feature
anyways,
flags are a
there you go.
sharp tool. Love them.
Any suggestions on those sorts of aspects? I mean, there's nothing really here that I don't think we haven't talked about
No.
repeatedly. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there
I
you
think
go.
everyone would have heard us say it all by now.
Yep. Yep. All right. Got a webinar coming up. We changed the date on this one, introducing Config as Code for runbooks. This is going to be now on February 11th. The reason why is because a bunch of us are going to be in Portugal for a offsite. We'll be meeting to discuss the upcoming year, and I will be amongst them, and unfortunately some others as well. So we've had to move the date of this webinar. We actually have another webinar that's coming up, as well as all of our Octopus 101s. All of those are going to be going up on our website very soon. So stay tuned to octopus.com/webinars for more information about that. But this one is certainly live, and we will love to see you there. In addition to that, we also have some events coming up. So particularly, we have DevOps Live and KubeCon/NativeCon. Incidentally, these are at the same location, the XL in London. So they're both in London. They're both at the same venue. We are big fans of DevOps Live. We've been part of that, I think, for the past 3 years now. So this is always a fun sort of event for us. So this will be March 12th and 13th. We have a booth. We're going to be located next to GitHub and also the Experts Lounge, I think it's called. So we have I think a 15 square space. So we're gonna have a pretty big presence there, which will be awesome. And then of course KubeCon Europe, Cloud Native Con Europe is going to be fun. That's going to be next to 2 weeks after that, April 1st to 2nd or to 4th, excuse me. And that will be at the same venue. So same bat time, same bat channel, as they say. And I'll be looking forward to that. Are you going to any of the events, Jim?
No, I wish. I'm working on a
Okay.
lot of back end stuff. I'm not connected to enough of the features that people want to hear about. So
Come on, man.
sending the other teams. I'll get there.
Yes.
I'll get there.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get you to do a talk at one of these events at some point. Like, how do we scale Octopus in a big way?
Yeah.
So I know you guys talk about that a lot. That'd
Yeah.
be cool. Anyways, check it out more at octopus.com/events. We've got a update here. Pavlo and Dan were number 2 and 3 contributors to the Argo CD project in 2024. So congrats to them. That was awesome to hear. We're obviously contributors to the Argo CD project, and they've done a lot of great work, which is great. And then wrapping things up, we have a article here from Pasha talking about securing Argo CD for 2025, looking back at key achievements and innovations in 2024. Basically, a summary of some of the things you may have not have taken note of. We put a lot of security features into Argo as contributors, and those deal with things like DDoS attacks or other sorts of exploits that may be leveraged. But you're curious as to what's going on there, you can check out this little article here from Pasha, which is great. And that, as I say, is the end of the news. So we are back, baby. It is July, and we are back and on the attack for 2025. It's still weird to hear the year 2025 in my head. I remember back in the day, I was just thinking, like, the other day, it was like, oh, I remember 2004 pretty well. Now it's like 21 years later. So I'm like, oh God,
What's your
where'd it
memory
go?
of 2004 like now?
Oh, it's faded, but still the nostalgia.
Yeah.
That was the year I actually moved from Australia to the US, incidentally.
Yeah.
But anyways, whatever. So that was the week that was. Jim, any last final thoughts before we wrap up here?
Nope.
All right. Anything coming down the pipe here from your team soon this year?
Yeah,
What
there
can people
will be.
expect
Maybe
for 2025?
Well, I'll talk about it maybe a bit further into the quarter. We'll have some.
All right,
things.
sounds good.
I'll
A
go away
teaser.
and think about it a little bit. A teaser. Yeah, that's right.
A teaser. I like it. All right, awesome. Well,
All right.
thanks a lot, and from us to you, happy deployments, everyone. See you next week.